Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to The Sims 4, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we're doing a community lot. We're doing a teeny tiny, itty bitty, not yellow polka dotted toddler park. Not even a toddler park, just a park. This is a completely 110% selfish build because in my personal world, I have kids. I have kids and I have toddlers, and all of their toys are giant. All of the outside stuff is giant and it doesn't fit, and when my Sims live in an apartment, my toddlers, my kids have nowhere to play, so I decided I wanted to build a park with a heavy emphasis on kids playing. So there's one of the big old playgrounds, there's monkey bars, a swing set, and then there's a toddler area with like the big like tube thing, which I don't think I've ever used in my life, and a little slide. There's also bathrooms, chests, some seating areas for the parents. They're huge because obviously there's requirements for a park, but I wanted a place where I could take my Sims. So this is built in Newcrest. It's kind of built to match Newcrest. It's kind of built to match base game, even though it uses about 1.5 billion packs. But you could put it anywhere. It's on one of the smaller lots, so you really could pick it up and put it anywhere. And I just, like I said, selfishly, I needed a place for my kids to play. I needed a place for my kids to go exist and enjoy, and they could go, especially like when they're of an age where they can travel by themselves, go just hang out with other kids. But I also wanted a place where like the mom could take them all and the toddler had a place to play, because there is really not a lot of places in The Sims 4 for toddlers. They kind of expect you to just like keep your kids at home until they're of an age. And I was like, that doesn't like super work for me. I want my toddlers to be well socialized. So yeah, we built a park. And it's very low key, it's very kind of dark colored, which I wasn't trying to make it like boring, but I was trying to like make sure it wasn't like super garish or anything like that. So I ended up going with like a little bit darker colors, like some of the wood tones, and I ended up putting the taller stuff in the back, which, I mean, I don't think there's really a strong opinion in there. At first I was like really against it. I was like, but the taller stuff was really hard, first of all, to not just be super bright and giant in the room. But the other reason I got to thinking is like, it might be kind of nice, depending on how the lot is situated, to have your toddlers in the back, because it might be easier to keep track of them, right? They're not going to wander off into the street and stuff, which isn't like such a huge deal because we don't have cars in The Sims 4, but it could be really annoying for the parents. On this particular lot, I don't know if it matters because we're kind of in the middle of like, this lot kind of touches everything on all of the sides. But like there are certain lots where like this would be farther back from the road and stuff, and so I thought, well, maybe the taller stuff should go a little bit farther back. It's also kind of a little bit one-sided, but I think it works because it again kind of hides the taller stuff from the road because it's kind of big and bold and in your face. I went with the blacks and the tans and stuff to kind of keep it a little bit less in your space. And it's under the trees, so it should be fine, but in real life, I bet that would be just the hottest playground ever. Like, it would be so hot to play in during the bigger parts of the day. Here, I'm trying to just put some grasses down and stuff. I love putting little grasses, although this one's pretty big. I like usually putting smaller grasses and stuff around the poles of my play equipment and, like, in certain areas of my play equipment and stuff, because it looks like you couldn't get the mower in there. And that is like such a real life struggle of like having stuff out in your yard and then having to run the mower around it, whether it's the push mower or the whatchamacallit mower, the riding lawnmower. There we go, the whatchamacallit. Like, you're probably not gonna be able to get a mower like right up next to the pole super easy without busting up your mower and stuff. So I was like, well, I always add those little grass things to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic, even though there's not a sim in this universe who's going to ever mow this grass because it's never going to do anything. And then I just did the really simple yellow wildflowers because I just think they're so pretty and subtle and nice. Although in the world there's a lot of those, I think they call them like oopsie daisy piles or something like that, the little like multicolored wildflower ones. So those would be really cute in here too. I just went with the yellow ones because I did. And then I did put a chess table in here because it's required. Realistically, I don't think I would have bothered putting a chess table in here. I just would have put another playing table for parents to sit and watch and chat, maybe another bench, but the chess table is required to make it a functional park. I don't know if it's required to make it a national park, but then I also didn't know if people would come if it was a national park. I'm not entirely sure the difference between a park and a national park other than requirements. But in terms of what they do functionality, I'm not sure of the difference. So here I went ahead and put the grass in between the things because I was like, well, how would you get a mower in there? You'd have to eventually stick like a weed whacker in there or something. But I thought that was a really cute touch. And it does, at least when I was playtesting it, the kids still play in it, so it doesn't change anything. But I thought I added a little something to it. And here's the terrain paint where I went just like a little bit crazy, trying to figure out how to make it work. But I do think it actually grounds the space and it works. It just takes a minute to get all of the colors layered in a way that makes sense. In a way that isn't like kind of ridiculous, because at first I was trying to do like sand and stuff, and then it was like way too sandy, and then I was trying to do dirt, and then it just looked like it would run down. So it took a little while, but we get there in the end. Also, I'll just pull out the big old like elephant in the room here. Yeah, I was accidentally recording a video on top of a video the whole time. Lately, for some reason, I will do Control-Shift-C, and it'll pop up and it'll have a little blinking cursor, and then I will go to type and it'll be like, you're not typing in the box, what are you on about? And then it'll like pop open a million windows because I've typed the whole cheat, and all of those are hotkeys, you know? So that has been happening, unfortunately, more frequently. Also, the weird cropping has been happening more frequently, which is really frustrating because it's cropped correctly when I'm recording it, and then it's like looking fine in editing, and then I parse it through. This one looks okay right now, but the last one looked okay, and then when I put it up on YouTube, it was cropped weird again, and I was like, somebody smarter than me has to figure this out. But just as a heads up, the yellow bar does go away eventually. I go, wait, I'm recording a video, and then I and then I turn it off. At least I think I turned it off before I turned off the camera. Maybe I saw it after. Either way, in case you were wondering, yep, I did accidentally record this entire video twice. Although I will say I never actually looked at the footage from The Sims like in-game recorder. I wonder if it's any good. I've always kind of just assumed that it would be hard to work with the footage, but I've never actually paid attention to see. I should look into that. So here I'm trying to make it look like there are places where like maybe the sand is a little bit more worn through because kids are playing in it. So places where kids would stand a lot, it's a little bit more like dirt. Places where people were walking a lot. I do add some gravel to make the paths look a little bit more intentional. But like, you know, kids wiping out off the monkey bars all of the time are going to create little divots and stuff in the sand. So I decided to make it look a little bit more worn. And I do think it looks really cool. I like the little ones under the swings and stuff. Just a little bit of like proof of life, right? Just makes it a little bit more realistic. And I love the way the gravel looks in the dirt paths in the same way. Just little touches like that. And then I started trying to decorate. I didn't go with too much decoration because it's a small park and I didn't want it to be like crazy packed. I do add some lighting. I will say I took some pictures at night. The lighting isn't great. The light, like, it's still creepy. Don't let your kids play in this park at night. But the lighting does help a little bit. I added some path lights and stuff. I was originally going to add like the big stand-up lights, but I ended up not like super loving how they looked. They kind of felt too tall for the space, so I went with these little just like path lights. They add a little bit of light, but probably not enough to be actually safe in a park. So do with that what you will. But we do get them all put in and stuff. So it is lit up. I don't think your sim will complain. And you might actually be able to, you know, find your toddler or whatever. And then I'm just adding finishing touches here with the bushes and stuff. Added a few, are these hydrangeas, question mark? I think these are the hydrangeas. They look kind of, yeah, I think those are the hydrangeas. Hydrangeas are so pretty in real life. I love hydrangeas in real life, but I don't think I can grow them in the growing zone that I am in right now. Yeah, see, the lights are nice. They're just like, they're not probably like safety lights, if you know what I mean. Like, you're gonna have a hard time seeing your kid on the playground. So like, maybe don't let your kid play, you know, super late in the evening. But there is a place now in this world for a little kid or like a toddler to play without it needing to be a giant thing in your backyard, which is exciting. I put the marbles down, and then I do end up adding some dirt to it to make it look more built in. But I've never played marbles, so I don't actually know if marbles would make sense on grass. I don't know if that needs like a concrete path. I've never played marbles, so that might be silly, but I'm sure it's functional. Like, I'm sure it's fine. It just might be, it might look kind of silly. I should learn to play marbles. I think that'd be fun. I wonder if any of my little cousins would be interested in learning to play marbles with me. I wonder if any of them have marbles. I wonder if any of them know how to play marbles. Is marbles a thing that kids still play? I don't know. And here I just added in a little bear to kind of cement the sort of like, hey, we're maybe on a beach kind of vibe because of the pirate ship. There was also a spaceship. We could have gone space themed. That would have also been cool because there's some rockets and stuff. But I went ahead with pirates this time. Would not be hard to change the theme though. would not be hard at all. And then I really thought about doing like the little lights, but they were kind of too short for what I wanted to do, and so I just decided to let it go. I was like, not gonna matter too much on this one. And I think we're just about done here. Called it. Here's the screenshots. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go and just enjoy the screenshots. I hope you're having a great day and you're feeling loved. And if you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you. I'm glad you exist. I'm glad you're hanging out. You make the world a better place just by being you. I'll catch you next time in some Minecraft stuff and then another speed build and maybe some Nancy Drew if I ever get my act together. Alright, talk to you soon. Love you, bye! Mwah!